Hello, besties. This is the podcast Best for Me, where we validate narcissist abuse survivors and daughters with narcissist mothers, and anyone who has been in a narcissist relationship or has been emotionally abused. I'm Shayla, and the narcissist in my life is my mother. Did y'all know that a household where there is more than one child, that one child could experience abuse when the other children in the household do not experience the abuse? This is what child abuse by a narcissist parent could look like in a dysfunctional, toxic family. In my family, I was the scapegoat, the one who is also the truth teller that the narcissist blames and shames for everything. The narcissist parent is threatened by the scapegoat and fears being exposed by the scapegoat. My brother is the golden child, or at least he was. My mother showed a difference in me and my brother, so his childhood experience with my mother was slightly different than mine. Even though he was the golden child, he was also abused, but I don't think he knows this. In one of my episodes on child abuse, and also in my book, You're Not My Mother, You're a Narcissist, I talk about how my mother would withhold food from me. Well, my younger brother got to eat. We were made to share a room with there being 5 years difference in our ages. My brother would come into our room after having dinner, licking his lips and talking about how good the food was. Unbeknownst to me, the mother who rarely cooked had dinner ready. No one told me. After learning dinner was ready, I would go into the kitchen to fix myself a plate, and the kitchen would be dark and all the food would be put away. There was nothing left in the oven, and there was no plate left for me in the microwave. That's when I knew I needed to bring my own food in the house, because my mother treated me as if she didn't want me to eat. I would store food like chips, bread, peanut butter, and crackers under my bed, so if she didn't want me to eat, I knew I had something to keep me from going hungry. What I didn't expect would happen is when I would throw away my food wrappers in the kitchen trash can, my mother would see the wrappers for food she knew she hadn't bought and asked who brought food in this house. I didn't answer her because I remember thinking this woman is straight crazy. Then she yelled, "Don't bring any food in this house." So then I knew if I wanted to bring food in the house to keep from going hungry, I would have to find some other way of discarding my trash. I believe I was 16 at the time, just old enough to work a part-time job at a fast food restaurant while in school. This is how I was able to buy myself food to eat and hide in my room. In one of my episodes, I talked about how difficult it is for children to tell someone they are being abused or mistreated. Well, one of the reasons for this is because the child is afraid they will not be believed. Child abuse, just like narcissist abuse, is hidden from the public eye. So imagine if you're in a household where you are the only one being abused and mistreated. How will people believe you when your brother, who is in the same household, isn't making the same claims? I believe abuse towards one single child would be a common occurrence in a blended family household when a parent mistreats their stepchildren but cares for their own children in a more loving and supportive way. They call this the Cinderella phenomenon. What might surprise you is that this happens with biological parents and their own biological children, with the narcissist parent favoring one of their biological children over another. My brother, having a different perception of our mother and his childhood, has assisted my mother in creating a divide between my brother and I. If I said anything about my childhood and how my mother wasn't there for me, my brother, who is 5 years younger than me, would interrupt me to say I had it wrong, or he would tell the person I was speaking to not to listen to me, as if I were the problem and not our mother. Talk about being gaslit. I felt I was on an island by myself, and no one wanted to acknowledge how I had been treated. I guess they think you are supposed to forget about it once you become an adult. I wish I could have forgotten about it. However, not knowing I had been abused prolonged my healing. My adult life was sometimes hard to bear for reasons that were not my fault as I had thought. Now that I know the truth, I have an explanation as to why my life and relationships have been a challenge for me, and I can begin healing. The problem was never me, as I had been manipulated to believe. Let's stop here. I want you to have your best day being you. Be you, be you, be you. You're good enough, maybe even more than enough. Don't listen to the haters. They are jealous and threatened by you. Just be you. This is best for me, and I'm Shayla.